Hi, my name is Chris Blazina. I've been a psychologist for 22 years. I've also worked as a professor, a researcher, and writer for about the same amount of time. Okay, so a lot of times people ask about, there are lots of different types of therapies out there. How do I know which is the best one for me? And the research over the last 25, 30 years points in the direction that all major therapies have what are referred to as common factors. And the common factors are things that have to do with relationship and connection. So a lot of times it's not so much the type of therapy that you pick, but it's the connection with the therapist that is most important. Um, you want to feel safe and you need to feel like the space is predictable and it's an attachment in its own right. So the last thing you want to do is feel like you come to therapy and it's already a vulnerable situation. It's really hard work. And the last thing you want it to happen is to feel like you're reliving old experiences from growing up. So sometimes people ask me, how do you pick the therapist that works for you? You pick it in part by does it feel comfortable? Does it feel safe? I know another question people ask a lot about is how do I know when it's time to maybe consider going to therapy? There's an old phrase that Freud used to talk about. It was called the psychic economy. And basically what that means is we all have a limited amount of psychological and emotional resources. What ends up happening is if we have intense conflicts or old conflicts, we end up doing a sort of writing a check out of our psychological bank account every day to keep old hurts at a distance or anxieties in check or even anger from getting too big. So when you find yourself making too many withdrawals from your psychological banking account on a regular basis, usually that's a good sign that it's time to consider going to talk to somebody.